Hi guys, I'm going to take a couple minutes to go over the mid-chapter checkpoint since a bunch of you had a question about some of the same questions. So let's take a look first at number 1. How can you tell without computing whether the quotient 1/2 divided by 6 is greater than 1 or less than 1? The first thing that you have to do is think about the number that you are dividing up. So we're going to take a look at 1/2 right here. 1/2 is the dividend, so that's what we are dividing up by the divisor. If we take a look at 1/2, let me go ahead and try and draw here. So I'm making a hole here, right? Just like our fraction strips in class. So that's one hole. Let me take a different color, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make half of that to show you 1/2. So here's 1/2. Now, if I go ahead and I divide that 1/2 up into 6 pieces, I'm dividing that 1/2 divided by 6. We want to know how much is each piece. So 1/2 divided by 6. So if I divide that 1/2 in half, and then each side into 3, so that we have 6 total pieces. Each of those is less than that 1/2. Each of those is less than that 1/2, which in turn is less than 1. So 1/2 divided into 6 pieces, each one of those pieces is really only 1/12. So the correct answer is that the quotient is less than 1 since I'm dividing a fraction into more parts. Now let's take a look at number 2. I have a whole number 3 and I'm dividing it in half. So I have the whole number 3. Let's take a look at it on a number line. So if I have my number line, I have 0, I have 1, I have 2, and I have 3. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to divide that in half. So let me grab another color here. So if I divide each one of those in half, I know that half of 1, there's how many parts? 2. So that means that if I'm dividing 2 into half, I have 4 parts. And if I'm dividing 3 into half, I have 6 total parts. Let's take a look at one where we're dividing up a fraction again. 1/4 divided by 3. So I'm taking a small number, I'm taking a fraction. The fraction is my dividend. And I'm dividing that fraction up by 3. So if I have one whole again, let's take a look at what a quarter looks like.
Wow.
So here's my quarter, right? 1/4. And I'm going to go ahead and divide that 1/4 up into 3 pieces. So let me go ahead. I'm going to divide that up into 3 groups. 1, 2, 3. So therefore, each one of those pieces is even smaller. We have 1/12 there. 1/12. Okay, now let's go on a couple more. Let me go ahead and erase my screen here so I can scroll down. All right. All right, let's take a look at number 9. 5 girls share 4 sandwiches equally. Remember, we can't divide up people. We can't cut people up. We can cut up the sandwiches. So we have 5 girls share 4 sandwiches. So what are we dividing up? What's our dividend? The 4 sandwiches are what we're looking up, and we're dividing up between 5 people because they share them equally. Okay, so we have 4 sandwiches, and we're dividing them up by 5 people. Therefore, each person gets 4/5 of the sandwich. Let's take a look at number 10. 9 boys share 4 pizzas equally. Same thing, we can't cut up the boys, we can cut up the pizza. So what fraction of the pizza does each boy get? We're taking the pizzas, in this case we have 4 of them, and we're dividing them up for 9 people. So 4 divided by 9, 4 ninths. I guess you can, okay. Okay, sorry for that little snafu. Let's take a look at number 14. Caleb and 2 friends. So remember, how many people are we talking about here? We're talking about 3 people. Caleb and 2 friends are sharing half a quart of milk equally. So think about what's happening in real life. They're sharing half of that quart. So if I go ahead and draw, here's a full quart, but I'm thinking about that half quart that they are sharing. They only have a half a quart to share. What fraction of a quart of milk does each of the 3 friends get? So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to share that half a quart between those 3 friends. So they're getting way less than a whole quart here. They're sharing that half of a quart. So you have to think about it. What's going on there? I'm taking 1/2 of a quart and I'm dividing it up for the 3 people. 1/2 divided by 3. So how many of these are in that whole? These are all 6ths. So that means that each person gets 1/6 of a quart. Let's take a look at number 15. Tony and Michaela are working on a craft project. Michaela has 3 yards of ribbon and Tony has 4 yards of ribbon. So we have to think, how many total yards of ribbon do we have all together? So I have 3 plus 4 is 7 yards of ribbon all together. So now picture, they're cutting these 7 yards of ribbon up. So they have 7 yards. So I'm going to think, how many fourths are in 1 yard? There are 4 fourths in 1 yard. Here's my 1 yard of ribbon. And in that 1 yard of ribbon, there are 4 fourths, right? So then I have to think, how many fourths are in 7 yards? So if there's 4 fourths in 1 yard, there are then how many fourths in 7 yards? Think about it for a moment. There are 4 fourths in 1 yard. So how many fourths are there in 7 yards? 4 times 7 is 28. So 7 divided by 1/4 is 28. I hope that helped some of you guys.